Lurch moved to the speaker's base, a special room for such visits, always empty and ready to receive guests. Wallin came as soon as he was informed of the TV man's arrival. He agreed to talk only if Polycephaly allowed him to pull out the containers with teleportation fog. Like, what kind of conversation can there be if the interlocutor can run away without listening to the end? Polycephaly naturally tensed up, but firstly, he was sure that if not Wallin himself, then his soldiers could be convinced of the purity of Alliance intentions. And secondly, Wallin skillfully pressed the feeling of guilt, like, you didn't even check whether our base needed help and why we stopped communicating. So you owe me, don't show off. There was some truth in this. They could have found time and checked. Before Polycephaly's teleportation was taken away, the conversation was tense, but still respectful. But then Wallen's gods simply targeted the TV man with stun guns. Now he was a captive with no rights. Wallen, with undisguised glee, informed Polycephaly that the Alliance were traitors, who, for the sake of alliance with the Skibidists, or God knows for what else, had invented a monstrous virus. When asked that the Alliance itself suffered from it first and foremost, Wallen waved it off, saying, so what? Something got out of your control. Or maybe you're getting rid of the extra ones, including our Titan. And in addition to my words, there's evidence. Traces of your technologies, TV technologies, were found in the tissues of infected. Polycephaly, of course, was shocked, but he replied that this needed to be sorted out. Even if it was the work of a traitor, we needed to find the culprit and not fight the whole world. After all, the technology could have been stolen, something that has happened before. That's why TV men rarely share their most advanced developments, so that their enemies don't gain advantage by getting their hands on them. Some of Wallen's people began to doubt, shouldn't we really investigate everything before drawing conclusions? Wallen rudely cut off such talk, saying, have they forgotten that Titan Speaker Man got infected at their base? That they and the Skibidists have united in alliance? And this Lurch is, at best, just a knave soul. His body simply didn't divulge him to details of the plan. But that doesn't change the fact that Polycephaly is on the side of traitors. We need to publicly punish one of the culprits, so that others don't do the same. Polycephaly, who had seen a lot of things in his life and was well versed in people, whether organic or synthetic, knew that Wallen himself didn't believe what he was saying. He knew that the Alliance didn't betray anyone. He simply feeds his people a plausible but completely false story for his own benefit. TV Man tried to break free, but even the light of his screen was powerless against the paralyzing gun. He was knocked out and thrown into a cage. After that, they came to Lurch a couple more times for interrogation, more like mockery. They weren't going to listen to him, no matter what he said. It was too obvious. A few days later, Polycephaly was thrown into the arena along with a dozen other traitors. Cameramen who were taken from the destroyed base and several speakers, those who didn't agree to consider the Alliance as enemies and expressed their disagreement too loudly.